Everything is Energy is everything you have been searching for to live a life of fulfillment, ease, and fun. All expanding on one truth. Everything is energy.
Welcome to the Everything is Energy radio show. This is one of your hosts, David Morelli.
And this is your other host, Kristen Morelli.
And around the world, there's over 300,000 people who listen to this show, so you are one of the many, and we so enjoy having everybody who's really dedicated to living a life of more fulfillment, more ease, more fun, and experiencing energy on the way.
All right, everybody, we have the voice of transformation. It is Lynn Rose. She is an expert in the enlightened approach to speaking called the wow factor. And I believe that wow is without walls, but she can tell me if I have that wrong. But anyway, she is a transformational speaker. She's a singer. She's a TV and radio show host. She just rocks. She has the best heart. And for those of you who have this desire to be a speaker and you know that you want to learn from somebody, we're going to let you get to know Lynn Rose here on the Everything is Energy radio show. So welcome, Lynn.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on your show, and I really enjoyed listening to Marcy and Michael. I mean, were you having them on just so I could hear that too? Please help with the workday.
I know. I was feeling the same way.
So yeah, getting in flow with your speaking now is what we can have fun with. So.
Yeah. Well, tell us, Lynn, first, because everybody just got to hear you sing. And how did you move into this whole world of singing and speaking and teaching people how to speak and the wow factor and all of that?
It's all over the place. Well, I always as a kid loved to sing and perform, but I also literally as a little girl loved the world of personal growth and personal achievement. And so I was reading Wayne Dyer and Leo Buscaglia in elementary school, and
that's great.
Doing things like around the neighborhood, putting up signs that said helpful hints, and I kind of was.
Wow, that's really neat.
I don't even know what that is for a first grader. Don't dip your Oreos in the milk twice or something. I don't know.
That's very good.
And,
brings more happiness.
Exactly. And then just later down the road, I started listening to a radio show, funnily enough, speaking of radio, and it was Personal Achievement Radio. I loved listening to that show. And then I remember thinking, I can do better than that. In fact, I think I will. And I'm like, oh, my God, who said that? And next thing you know, I went about finding a way to create my own radio show on that station. I ended up doing that, ended up becoming one of the top shows there, ended up getting in a nationally syndicated program with them. And it was one thing led to the next and just transitioned into speaking because it's part of my passion.
Yeah. And how did it become your passion to teach others?
Well, I think also having been through, we all have our stories, right? And, I had different challenges as a child that I had to really, really work through as an adult. And then also I went through a period of time where I was completely shut down with fear and frozen and rigid, I could barely function. And I know what it took for me to work past that, and I know the pain that feels when you have so much inside that you want to get out and you feel locked up in there. And so now to have that freedom to where I just get to have a blast on stage or wherever I am, and I don't have any of that locked-in feeling, but I know what that's like, what it took to get past that. And so that's part of, I feel like, my mission to be able to share that.
And what I love, so WOW is without walls, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And you know what excites me about bringing you on the show, because there's a lot of people out there who teach about speaking. But here, there are two things that really stand out. Maybe there's probably a third here too. But one of them is that I feel like you teach people how to speak from their essence, to have a really powerful energy. And that's really what you do when you're on stage. I mean, the event we went to, you made that event. To us, you created the energy there. I mean, it was incredible. And I watch you do it on stage, and I know that's what you teach people, and that you believe that everything is energy, but tell us a little bit about that, and then we can talk about the other two areas that I'm really interested in.
Well, that's right on, Kristen. Thank you. I really feel that's what makes powerful speaking or any type of interaction, but without walls. What happens when the barriers to our connection are dissolved, and we're fully connecting from who we are, from source, fully connecting to the other person, connected to our message, to our essence. And in fact, part of the formula I have for powerful speaking is ACE, A-C-E, and that stands for authentic, connected and energy. So you being who you really are, authentic, connected, meaning connecting powerfully, and then energy, the energy with which you speak, is a way to amplify who you are so that it makes the most impact and has that passion. In fact, another little side thing, which I think you two so well demonstrate, that I think if someone wants a little tip that they can take, even if it's just being on an interview, being on a date, or if they're going to be on stage or in the media, and that is to have playfulness. And you two so demonstrate that. Have playfulness. Even if it's underneath the surface, play with how you say it. Play with the moment. Play with what you're feeling, and it'll come out so much more powerfully and so much more engaging as well, and it'll free you up.
That is actually one of our core values around here is playfulness. Just the other day, a baby came in. One of our employees brought her baby in, and we all got to play together, and there were just jokes going left and right and over the top and, all kinds of fun things. And playfulness is really like how you be in the world, and that's your essence, like you're talking about. Playfulness is one way that people can really connect. There's kind of an innocence there, and I think that's so magnetic or sort of contagious, that sort of authenticity or that innocence is so engaging.
But the thing is, and this is the second thing of what I love about what Lynn does, is Lynn teaches small groups. And for people to get into that playfulness, to really be able to be free, they have to release a lot of stuff. They have to move through things that have been holding them back, or sort of that energetic baggage they've been carrying around with them for a lifetime. And that's what I love, Lynn, about that you work intimately with small groups, because I feel like it gives people more of an opportunity to have that reflection in a safe environment, to really release all of the baggage or break through the barriers that have been keeping them from their authentic power, and really being able to speak and show up in the way they want to show up in the world.
You just hit the nail on the head. That's exactly right. I mean, it gives them that safe space, and also to really have hands-on, because I think it's from experience that we really learn, when we are really in the process, and we're doing it, when we're being it, not just a bunch of information or how-tos, but when you're really living it. And that's what we get, to do through doing it with a small group. Everyone gets their own time, and they also have that safe space. And then you can really also have that place to explore. So what levels can I go to? And you're able to really explore what that is. And that's also, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, do you have a story of someone, I think everyone gets inspired by hearing success stories, it all sounds really good. It's a great idea. I'd love to be a speaker. I'd love to be able to speak from my power, from my authenticity. I'd love to be connected, but I feel so sort of stuck where I am right now. We'd love to hear a story.
I'll tell one that just blows me away when you see what can happen in 2 days when you really create a space like this. But Marcy went through WOW, by the way, and we just love her and the amazing work that she has to give. And she almost decided she was almost going to not do her Happy for No Reason book tour and release of it. She was feeling like, the burden of how she'd been doing things, how she'd been approaching it, and just certain other aspects. And then she came to WOW and had a breakthrough, and then went to another level and was able to be freed up. And of course, that great work that she got to share and her spirit that she shares, it's so powerful.
Lynn, let me just jump in. I want to interrupt for 1 second, because actually we were at an event with Marcy, engaged today with the Dalai Lama and Sir Richard Branson and a bunch of other people, right? And Marcy was going to be on a panel, and then that ended up getting canceled. And, she was kind of like, well, she kind of, for a moment, slipped into probably what some of us slip into is, maybe not standing in our full light and glory. And then she just committed. And I imagine that some of this was through what she did in the workshop with you. And she lit the frickin' stage on fire. I mean, not literally, but she was. Which
would be interesting too.
Yeah. But she was so powerful because she just got connected.
Oh, that's so great. And if you're led from your connection, everything else will flow from there.
Yeah.
And